Hello, 5th grade math students. This is Chapter 8.3, Rewriting Decimals as Fractions and Mixed Numbers. This is a short lesson. Let's dive right in. We'll begin by learning to rewrite one-place decimals as fractions or mixed numbers. So let's look at our first example, which is our cube here with 10 equal slices. 3 are colored in, which is 0.3 or 3/10. All we're doing here is thinking about our place value. The 3 is in the tenths column, so it becomes 3 over 10. Another way to think of it as we're taking 3 pieces out of 10 equal parts, so we write a fraction as 3 out of 10. Now let's look at the next example, the 2 blue squares here. Each square is divided into 10 equal parts. 1 here is a whole, so that becomes 1. We add our decimal place, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equal parts here, so it becomes 1 6/10, or 1 6/10. Now in this one you need to express it in simplest form, so we're going to rewrite it as 1 3/5, simply by reducing that fraction. Okay, let's go on to two-place decimals. Here are 2 examples for two-place decimals. In our first example, we have a cube that has been divided into 100 equal parts. 8 of those parts are colored in. That means we've colored 8 out of 100, or 8/100ths. So 0.08 or 8/100ths. We can reduce this to simplest form by dividing 8 and 100 by their greatest common factor, which is 4, giving us 2 out of 25. All right, let's look at our next example. We have 2 squares that are completely filled in, leaving us with a whole number 2. And in our next square, we can see we have 1, 2 full columns filled in. That would be 20. And then we can count the individual cubes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that tells us we have 27. So we have 2 27/100ths, or 2 27 over 100. This is already in simplest form, so we leave our answer as 2 27/100ths. Now give this a try on your own. Here are 4 problems where you'll need to rewrite a 1 or a 2-place decimal as a fraction or a mixed number. Press pause while you work, and we'll come back to 3-place decimals when you're finished. Now that we've worked with 1 and 2-place decimals, let's go on to 3-place decimals and rewrite these as fractions or mixed numbers. So I have 2 examples here. Let's begin with our first. Here we have a cube that's divided into 1,000 equal pieces. Now we can count these up by counting the individual rows of 10. Each plane, so this plane, and this plane, will each have 100 visible cubes. And we can count them by counting the rows of 10. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of 10, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 individual cubes. So we have 45 cubes filled in, but that's 45 out of 1,000. So that would be 0.045 or 45 thousandths, which you could also rewrite as 45 over 1,000. We can reduce that to its simplest form by dividing both 45 and 1,000 by their greatest common factor, which is 5, giving us 9 over 200. Now let's go on to the second example. There's 1 cube that is completely filled in, giving us 1 whole. And now let's go to our other cube. We see that 1 entire plane is filled in, so that would be 100. So let's go ahead and put that in the tenths place, because we have 100 thousandths. And then we have an additional 1, 2/10 and 8 individual cubes. So this is 1 128 thousandths, or 1 128 1,000ths. which we can reduce to 1 and 16 125ths. Okay? Now let's try a few of these on your own. In problems 5 and 6, you're given cubes and asked to rewrite each decimal as a fraction or mixed number in its simplest form. In problems 7 through 12, rewrite each decimal as a fraction or a mixed number, and also make sure you put these in simplest form. This concludes Chapter 8.3. I'll see you tomorrow to wrap up this introductory chapter on decimals. See you then.